Zach's Screen of the Week, an overview of a timely stock screening strategy aimed at helping you produce more profitable investing results. This week we're going to find out how to screen for upgraded broker ratings, and we're going to do that with Kevin Matras, our top stock screener here at Zacks.com, who joins us every week to fill us in on all of these different screening strategies that he has bottled up inside him.
They're waiting to get out.
So it seems like more of these kinds of stocks are the more of these kinds of stocks in your portfolio, the better. Is that right?
Yeah, the more companies that the brokers seem to favor, the better. Okay. And you know, I'm sure we have all woken up one day and seen one of the stocks that we're in be upgraded by a broker that's covering it. And normally when you see a broker rating upgrade in one of your stocks, usually you're going to see that stock respond nicely that day. Mm-hmm. And if there is some meaty reason behind it, usually you may see that continue on for several more days. Unfortunately, I think we've all had the displeasure of waking up and seeing one of our stocks downgraded by one of the brokers that's covering it. And normally the reverse is true. You're going to see that stock go down, and if there is some compelling reason, you may see that stock continue to go down even more. Now, there is no, perfect way to predict which company is going to have a broker rating upgrade. And there's no way you can really guard against a downgrade, but it is important to know how those kinds of stocks respond. So if you are in it, you can stay in those upgraded winners, or if you're on the fence, you can get in. But also, too, consider getting out of a stock that may have seen a downgrade come its way, because usually that means you're going to be, fighting an uphill battle. So it's really important to know how these things react.
Yeah, well, definitely staying in winners, getting out of losers makes sense.
Yeah, that's one of the keys to trading success. What's interesting, though, is when I am running screens, I will oftentimes look for companies that have recently been upgraded by a broker. And the reason why I do this is because studies have shown that stocks that have recently been upgraded by a broker outperform those where there is no change in the rating, and it outperforms even more so companies that have recently been downgraded. And to illustrate this, I ran 3 screens, so check it out.
All right.
First off, I ended up back testing a strategy, and what I did was I only looked at those companies with broker rating upgrades. In my second screen, I tested companies with no rating change at all. Whatever the rating was, good or bad, there was no change. In the third screen, I screened for only those companies that received broker rating downgrades.
So upgrades beat the downgrades, right?
Yeah, that is a fair assumption. And so the tests pretty much confirmed what I had been expecting to see. There was no surprise there. But what was surprising was the magnitude of the results. So check it out. Mm-hmm. In the first screen, or in the first test, the broker rating upgrades over the last 10 years showed an average annual return of 10.4%. In the second screen, the ones with no rating change at all showed an average annual return of 6.1%. And in the third one, the stocks with broker rating downgrades actually showed a loss of minus 0.3%. So the upgrades beat the ones with no rating change at all by nearly twice as much, and the upgrades beat the ones with downgrades by a significantly larger factor. In fact, that was the difference between making money and losing money. So it is extremely important to pay attention to what the brokers are saying and to act accordingly if you find yourself in any of those kinds of stocks.
Yeah, it's definitely a big difference.
Right.
So what about stocks that came through the screen?
Yeah, I ran that screen this morning. There were a bunch of stocks that came through. I think there were as many as, I think it was like 50 or 52. Wow. Here's 5 of them. I'm looking at Comcast, Capital Product Partners, Inner Workings, NN Incorporated, and Timken. So each one of these companies and all those other companies that came through the screen, they have all seen their average broker rating increased within the last 4 weeks. These kinds of companies are definitely companies that you want to put on your watch list.
Own any yet?
Not yet, not yet.
With you, I have to say, do you own any yet,
Right.
All right, if you want to look at a text version of this week's Screen of the Week, definitely go to Zax.com if you're not there already watching this video, because there is where you will always find, every week, a text version of the screens that we talk about in these videos. And if you want to find out more about the Research Wizard, that is the tool that Kevin uses to achieve all of these screens. Very powerful backtesting tool. Then Zax.com/researchwizard is where you should go. With Kevin Matras and the Screen of the Week, I'm Terry Ruffalo.